Hello, my name is Mitch Padilla. Today we've got a really exciting show with three guests. We're going to be speaking to Rick Thomas, Juliet Thomas, and Ren Ramsey. And we're going to be talking about College Republicans United. The acronym is CRU. I understand that they pronounce it as CRU, and we are ready to get started. Our first guest today is going to be Rick Thomas. Hello, Rick. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Tell me a little bit about College Republicans United.
Sure. College Republicans United is the only real America First student organization anywhere in the country that espouses paleo-conservatism, which, if your viewers are not familiar, would be the opposite of neoconservatism. This organization was founded in 2018 out of Arizona State University. Because it was the first of its kind, I think that it has been really looked to across the country as a model of where student orgs are going to go in the future. And we have expanded to multiple states. We're in 5 states now with over 40 chapters across the country, and we're looking to expand much further into Arizona.
So how many chapters exist in Arizona today?
Currently, we have 2. We have one at ASU and the University of Arizona in Tucson, but we are looking to expand at Yavapai College in the very short future.
Okay. So why do you pick Yavapai College, for example?
Well, Yavapai was a test site originally. Right after ASU was formed, we had a small chapter here for about a semester. And unfortunately, the students have moved on and the chapter wasn't able to continue on at that point. But we have since then grown our numbers outside the university. I believe now we have the support structure available in Yavapai County where we could reform the organization here and have it thriving going forward.
I take it it's a little bit of a challenge in a community college setting. Students that are full-time students, for example, put 2 years into their studies and then move on. Either they either stop going to school or they transfer on to a 4-year university. So does that present itself as a little bit of a challenge?
Certainly. Even at ASU for a 4-year college, a lot of freshmen are very intimidated in getting involved at any student organizations. They're there to feel out the college life first and to explore the university and adapt to the culture. And even at the 4-year, we see more seniors and juniors get involved. So there will be challenges at the community college level, but we're up to that task.
So for a student that, whether it be Yavapai College or any college or university for that matter, what is the appeal for CRU to a student? Why would they look to CRU?
Sure. Even for students who are not necessarily interested in politics, we offer a lot of programs that other organizations don't. For those who are looking for jobs, internships, opportunity to make money for the summertime, we have individuals available to bring them in. I know the Republican Party in Yavapai would love to have more interns, younger faces involved, whether it's answering emails, secretary kind of work, office work. These students are hungry for resume building opportunities. And I believe the GOP has dropped the ball, unfortunately, in not taking advantage of the workforce that's available out there. And we want to facilitate and bring those resources to the party.
You've been a college student yourself, as I have. So I know that resume building, any activities, volunteering, opportunities to show your skills are really important. So with CRU, is it open to any student, for example, if they want to join and they embrace the ideas of College Republicans United?
Well, any student, even on the left, is welcome to come to a meeting and listen to our speakers, our students. They may be even allowed to participate in the debates. But for a member to be considered a member, yes, we are looking for a very particular kind of conservative. We want them to be nationalists. We want them to love America. We want them to have good religious upbringing values. And we want them to be a part of what we're trying to promote. But not every student is going to know where they're at 18, 19 years old. They're still trying to find themselves. And so we're very cognizant of where they may be at that stage of their life. So we want to bring them in, be understanding that they might be more open to certain issues, but then we want to start pointing them in the right direction and start really educating them, giving foundations of being what a conservative actually is, so that later in life, when they're 25, 30, 40 years old, they'll have all the tools necessary to be a good conservative.
So On the topic of a student being 18 or 19, not sure what they're embracing yet in life, for example, is that a different type of student that you might encounter at a four-year university, for example?
Well, at a two-year university, myself included, so I attended a two-year university at Chandler Gilbert Community College, and I came from perhaps a lower socioeconomic status than perhaps people at a four-year university. So I was a lot more sensitive to opportunities to make money, to improve my skills, to be employable in the marketplace. And perhaps people in my age demographic wouldn't be open to joining a club when I have so many other time priorities for me. And what I would say now, looking back, this actually is a great organization for those kinds of people because you need those resume opportunities to be even interviewed by an employer. You will have so much more of an advantage having gone through our program than if you were doing it by yourself, because we will give you those resources to be a better worker.
You know, and I think that as a college student, that is what somebody is looking for: opportunities, build their skill sets, showcase their talents. And it just sounds like College Republicans United is a great way to do that. I'd like to really thank you very much for coming on the show today and giving us a little bit of insight behind what Crew is all about and how it might work on Yavapai College or any campus for that matter. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now I'd like to speak to Juliet Thomas, another member of the College Republicans United organization, or Crew, as we had heard just a moment ago. Hi, Juliet. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine also. So tell me, how are you involved with College Republicans United?
Well, I got involved because I was going to school at the Yavapai College, and then I met a Crew member by the name of Juliet Thomas. And then we started talking, and I was asking him questions about like his party, the Republicans, was his group was about. And he was telling me all these things about it. And I figured, you know, they're really a good bunch of people. You know, I want to get involved in this. I was like really interested. And that's how I got involved. I was involved with that ever since.
So you became involved as a student?
Yes.
Okay. And you're still a student, right?
Yes.
And where are you going to school today?
I'm going to school at the ASU downtown campus.
And what are you studying?
I am studying nursing.
And how far along are you in the nursing program?
I'm actually at my gen ed courses. I'll be finishing in May of 2023, going into my core classes.
Okay. ASU has a great reputation for nursing. So as a student there, are you still involved with College Republicans United?
Yes, I am. I went to a lot of their meetings, and you could learn a lot from their meetings. And I'm still learning. It's just, that's what's so great about it. Like, there's always something new to learn every single day.
So is it a big time commitment on your part?
No, because like my classes are hybrid. So I go to like online. I also go to in person. So I have a lot of free time, especially on the weekends, which is what's very convenient.
So how has College Republicans United impacted your life?
It has impacted my life by opening a lot of job opportunities, which I have done and I have helped them out with.
So a job opportunity, give an example.
For an example, they were organizing the recall of Rusty Bowers, and I was a little nervous. I never done like petition gathering or anything like that, so I was like nervous. So I volunteered. I'm like, okay, let me give this a shot. So I did, and I ended up being one of the top collectors there. I ended up collecting the most signatures there. So
there's a true sense of being involved in a cause.
Yeah, and I like being a part of something. It gives me a sense of fulfillment. And that's also the reason why I came with the nursing too, because I want to help people. And I feel like I can do both. I can help people by doing this also, because it brings people, a reality check, of what they're doing. And they're doing it for a great purpose, and I love that.
So earlier, Rick had mentioned that getting having an affiliation on the Yavapai College could be helpful because Yavapai County has a fairly big conservative base. And is that something that you would agree with?
Yes, definitely. Yavapai College is very, like the Yavapai County itself is very conservative.
And you were a student at Yavapai before?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Juliet, thank you very much for coming on the show today. And our next guest now is going to be Ren Ramsay. Ren, thanks for joining us today.
Nice to meet you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
All right, thanks for having me.
Tell us how you're involved with College Republicans United.
Okay, well, College Republicans United, it grew out of, or really split off from College Republicans. I'm an activist in the Republican Party. I was asked to go there, watch, and kind of shepherd around things. And Rick and some others broke off with College Republicans United and started to grow the organization. Later, they asked me to become directly involved and help them providing advice and things like that, which I've done. And so I've been actively involved with them for a few years now. They expanded their organization. They needed to have a larger statewide organization to promote it and provide support for it. So we formed Republicans United. Republicans United of Arizona, in turn, consists of the various college chapters, and they elected me to be the chairman of that organization.
Okay, so College Republicans United, or CREW, they've got an international footprint. Is that correct?
Correct.
And what does that look like?
Well, it really is kind of a product of the genesis of CREW. So CREW's made a splash with its support for other politicians such as Sheriff Joe Arpaio or Paul Gosar, and they became very friendly with the organization. And those politicians, in turn, are very well known as being conservative, very populist-leaning, and of course, they have a wider audience that extends sometimes overseas. So eventually, it became known to other chapters in the United States that we existed, that those other college chapters, I should say, of the College Republicans found that they had similar problems. They split off from them, and together we formed College Republicans United National. And that's where Republicans United comes in and provides kind of executive mission, critical mission support and guidance. And just through that growth and very good communication strategy, having other political candidates come and speak at the various college chapters, that garnered airplay in Europe. And we got noticed by such parties as Lega of Italy, the Brothers of Italy, National Rally, Orban's Fidesz party, a number of parties like that. So eventually Lega and National Rally actually reached out to us and asked if, wanted to talk to Republicans United and the College Republicans itself, College Republicans United. So we set up a series of discussions, and from that, we decided to actually form a series of partnerships, which started and eventually culminated this last month with a visit to Las Vegas of a member of Parliament from Italy, the youth directors of Lega and National Rally, and a couple of other Lega party representatives, National Rally representatives. And we had discussions on forming a new political alliance of international conservative national youth wings. So that's how that formed.
Let me just ask you, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when you mentioned youth wings, does that mean other college-age students in countries in Europe, for example?
Yes, it does. It does. But some of these parties don't have a clear differentiation between members of the colleges versus youth. And youth could sometimes be anywhere from, say, 12 to 22, or it could be from 16 to 45. So it just depends on the party.
So those types of partnerships that CREW has entered into, is it so that the ideals that CREW espouses in joining with European youth groups, for example? Is it similar ideals? Is it a shared ideal? What does that look like?
It's definitely shared ideals. So all of these parties that are in Europe that are from the National Conservative side, they've been living under the European Union for decades now. And the European Union has slowly taken away many sovereign powers from the national state and the nation state governments. And there's been a lot of pushback from that. And so these parties have grown and hit that zeitgeist of the people being very upset with how these unaccountable, unelected bureaucrats from the super regional organization in the European Union are dictating policy down to the nation state and even lower. And so Lega is one such party, National Rally, of course, and they all have their own idiosyncrasies that's unique to their own country. And we recognize that France and Italy and Germany and Spain are different than we are and different from themselves. And each of the conservative, national conservative parties in those countries also recognize that. But we also recognize that there are shared values that we have because of our common Western, civilization, and we also we care for liberty and for democratic principles of the type where we recognize the locality should have some say over its own life rather than a power very far away from where that locality lives. And, what we face here with, in the United States with globalism, the offshoring of our jobs, immigration in particular, those are all hitting in Europe too. They've had the same problems.
Well, that's a really interesting topic that you have gotten on. So the College Republicans United, shared ideals with other youth groups across the pond, and that could be anywhere in the world, I'm sure. So it sounds like College Republicans United has a positive idea that they want to try to get out to others, and it's being embraced. Is that safe to say?
I would say that, but one of the things to recognize is that College Republicans United is strictly focused on the United States. This partnership is more of a collaboration of equals. We're not going down and bowing down to, Italian ideals or French ideals. What we are doing is we are collaborating together to promote those shared ideologies, say national conservatism, populism, to promote those within our respective governments, and also to help communicate that strategy and support each other. Did you know that in Italy and in France, where they have large-scale immigration that's impacting their society, that when police officers get in these tragic encounters where you have to use deadly force, they often have the same type of reaction of rioting from other parts of the community that against the state, against the police, just like we saw with Black Lives Matter. And that is because it's the same group of people coordinating both in the United States and in Italy and France these actions against the Italian people, against the Italian state. And how do you fight that if you're just one party by yourself, when you have a larger group that's coordinating against you? So we're kind of forming, I guess, a kind of like a NATO of conservative national parties. And this is not the first time this has happened. There's actually been a one that was formed in the 1980s to combat communism. And we're kind of following along the same footprints because that other organization just frankly has failed in supporting the national identity and the national conservative and populist values of the respective countries in Europe and the United States.
That's it sounds like a great discussion that's worthy of more time. I'm going to go ahead and thank our listening audience at this point in time. We've had three great guests today: Rick Thomas, Juliet Thomas, Ren Ramsay, and look forward to additional opportunities to hear more information in the future.
Excellent. Thank you for having us.